Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Check it out. Karmelo Anthony, we're going to talk about his first 30 days, how it will break even you. Listen, it's going to break the streets out of him. It's going to break thinking about going to the games on the weekend, calling his friends, using his apps, his TikTok. It's going to break him mentally. We're going to talk about how it tears you down when you lose outside. When I got locked up, they just started coming out with CDs. They didn't have none of this MP3 and JPK and all this stuff they got now. When he come out, they may be spaceships flying around. In 30 years, we might have spaceships. Let's see what Elon Musk create within 30 years. 30 years is a long time. When I look back I went in, we were still using VCRs and Betamaxes. And now we're using iPhones and Androids. But, we're going to get into that, but I'm going to get into the psychological effect of how it tore him down after his first 30 days. With the first 30 days, how it will break you in prison. If you want to know about it, hit the like button while I get this party started. All right? Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. All right, so now, I'm going to get right into it because that's what you came for. Sit back. This video need to be shared with all the youth that you know, male or female. Because I'm going to tell you about the first 30 days will break the street out of you when they lock you up and tell you got 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. The street stops at the door. So you understand that, right? The street stops at the door. Let me tell you something, young brothers and sisters. The street got a loud voice, but prison got a louder silence. The street would tell you, stand on business. Prison will ask you, can you stand on that bunk? The street will hype you up for one bad moment. Prison will make you relive the moment for 30 days, for 30 months, for 30 years, and that is the part that nobody puts in the rap songs. Nobody puts that in caption. Nobody puts that in Instagram reel. Nobody puts that in argument. They show the verdict. They show the mugshot. But they don't show what happens after the door closes. When you locked in that cell, trapped within your thoughts. I spoke about that. Check their prior videos out. His first day, his second day, the weekend. And I got to join his mothers is both serving a sentence too. But the first 30 days, that's when the street voices start dying out. They start getting quiet. But that's when the fake courage quits. That's when the applause turns into echoes. That's when a young man learns the system does not care who you thought you were on the outside. And that's when you have to face the reality that right now you're just a number. 45, 84, 39. That's your number, boy. You remember that. And could you remember, I still remember my prison number. I remember my first state bid prison number. They make you use it every day until it's branded into your brain. Over 45 years, I left the state prison system and I still remember my state number. Oh, and if y'all don't know who I am, because a lot of new people coming on, my name is Unique Mecca Audio. I served 26 years in federal prison. I started off in Lewisburg in 1994, Went to ADX 1995, came out of ADX like 1999, then went to Allenwood USP, then went to Lund Park Penitentiary. From Lund Park Penitentiary, I went to Coleman 1 when Coleman 1 opened up, and then when Coleman 1 opened up, they put me out of there. After 60 days, I was there with Boy George. I'm gonna tell you some Boy George stories and all that. D Nice out of Brooklyn, Pizza Face Mike, Shamik, Fat Manny, True, Big Oscar. These are gangsters from my era, but I made it out here to speak for them, and they coming. Now, I want y'all to understand that when I speak, I'm speaking from experience. The street can make you feel big one day, and that moment, but prison can also make you feel small for the rest of your life. At that moment, Karmelo Anthony got into that altercation. He felt strong, invincible. That's what happened when you put a weapon in your hand. That's why I tell you, don't do it. The first time I put a .357 in my hand, oh my God, my heart. I mean, that was better than the first time making love. Just keeping it 100, But you learn to leave that love behind, because that's your negative self talking. That's the devil talking. You don't need a gun. You don't need a knife. Just live a righteous life, and you will attract the people that could see who you are from what you're radiating from you. So now, let me give you the unique Mecca audio twist, man. Prison does not just lock you up. It strips you down. Takes you butt naked. Could you imagine going to a room, man, tell you to strip down, get butt naked, turn around, spread your anus cheeks, and spread them and cough. Spread them and cough. That's what every man that goes to prison must go through. They don't want to tell you that. But that's what Karmelo Anthony have to do every time he goes to a visiting room. Anytime they order him to strip down butt naked, spread your cheeks, spread your legs, and cough, you do it when I say do it. So if that's what you youngins want, you go ahead and go do that. And y'all want to talk tough out here, right? All right. See, everybody else is talking about the case, right? But my unique Mecca audio twist, screw the case. Let the courts and the justice system deal with the case. Let's deal with the lessons that came from the case, the psychological traumas that came from the case, so that the young people looking at this could understand that this type of case can ruin your life. Everybody else is talking about the sentence. Everyone else is talking about who's right, who's wrong, who should have did what. But unique Mecca audio? Nah, I'm not here to chase the gossip, the rumors, the speculations, the who shot who, told on who, We're here to study the consequence of unique Mecca audio. We're here because the real story ain't just what happened that day. The real story is what happens when a young man wakes up and realizes the whole world moved on without him from the choices he made that day. Prison does not just take your freedom. Prison takes your rhythm. Prison takes your name. It takes your smell, your clothes, your schedule. It even takes your privacy. And let's not forget that ego and pride that got you in that prison cell in the first place. It took that at the door. It takes that outside identity you once had and peels it off one layer at a time. You came in thinking you're somebody, right? Yeah, I'm somebody. I'm that dude. I'm tough. I got this. You came in thinking, I'm all that. Can't nobody do nothing to me, right? And then 30 days later, you're learning how to ask permission to move 10 feet. You asking permission to go out the door. You asking permission if you could get a drink of water. Just think about that. That's the twist. Prison does not break the street out of you with one punch. It breaks it out of you with repetition. I said my number so many times during my state bid, I could never forget that number. 45 years later. And I had to learn another number, which is my federal number. And I know that too. You know, it breaks it out of you in repetition. That's how it breaks it out of you, right? The repetition is continuous count time, chow line, strip search, lockdown, lights out. Same faces, same regrets, same problems every day. It feel like that movie Groundhog Day where Drew Barrymore kept waking up and it was the same day to her, but everyone else is looking at her like she's nuts. Now I'm gonna give you the jewel in this, right? Prison does not argue with your street image. It erases it slowly. You understand that? Now, day one was a shock, but the first 30 days is war within your mind. Day one is shock. You're trying to understand where you are, who's who, where to stand, what to say, what not to say, who's watching, who's testing, who's pretending to be friendly so that they can get whatever it is they think you have from your support. Who's measuring your fear? But the first 30 days is different. That is not shock anymore. That's war. Because you're fighting with all these new structures that they're giving you. Not war with other inmates first. War with yourself. That you're being broken. That you're being complied and trained to bend over, cough, and spread your legs and spread your cheeks at command. Welcome to prison. If that's what you youngins want, they got it right there for you. And I'm telling you, you will want that. You know what I mean? Now, war with yourself, war with your thoughts, war with your pride, war with your memory that keeps replaying that faithful moment that landed you in the cell. War with the phone call you can't make when you want to take because they have control over it and limit the time you use it. They call phone in the prison a privilege, meaning you're not mandatory to get on that phone. It's a privilege for them to let you use their cheap, outdated phone for 15 minutes that you have to pay for. War was the phone call, like I said, you can't make. War with the mother you can't hug. How you missing your mother so much, you just want to touch her face. You just want to wipe the tears you continuously see on TV. But you can't touch her. It's just in your mind playing tricks on you. Y'all need to get this video to both mothers so they could really understand what's going on and what has come out of this tragic situation, and rest in peace to Austin Metcalf, and we say that. You know, but we have to come together and heal. And I know I give it raw, you know, but who else is gonna give it to you if I don't give it to you raw? It's gonna wake the kids up to think twice, and it's gonna wake the parents up to watch their kids and think twice because they didn't want their kids to wind up in a situation like this. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth? But like I said, he's having a war with his old life that he can't reach anymore. War with the version, you know, with the vision of him making that one decision and left this version of you to pay it. Now we have to pay for that decision. That's the dark place. Because in the street, you can move around. In prison, you sit still. And when you sit still, your mind starts playing tricks on you. It talks to you. It answers you. Your mind lets you know you are fully functional. It's how you deal with the cage that matter. And let's be honest, put it in the comments. How many of y'all think you can deal with the cage? Let me know. Could you imagine being locked in your closet for 23 hours? Could you imagine being locked in your cell? See, I'm calling your closet cell. See how institutional in minds? That's why I want you to get burnt out like me. I'm sitting there calling my closet my cell now. You know what I mean? Welcome to the trauma zone, right? But let me get on with this, right? The jewel in this, right? Because I'm about to go into a zone because, you know, like I said, I ain't got nothing to hide. I want you to see how it screw you up. I'm how it screw you up. I'm a screw up. All right? The body does time, but the mind feels the sentence first. His mind is killing him right now. So those of y'all that want Karmelo Anthony to punish, well, he's being punished now. And the first punishment starts with self. The self-guilt, the self-regret, the self-not walking away. That could have prevented this nightmare. Now he's losing freedom. The first thing that dies, right? Freedom is not just walking outside. Freedom is choosing when to sleep, choosing when to eat, choosing what to wear, choosing who to call, choosing when you want to just be alone and not be forced in a cell and can't get out. Freedom is choosing when to turn the lights off, choosing when to say, I need air, I can't breathe, let me go outside. In prison, that choice is gone. Somebody else controls the door, someone else controls the count, someone else controls the movement, someone else controls the phone, and that is when it hits different. Because the street teaches young men to confuse movement with power. You think because you can ride around, you're free? You think because you got people with you and you feel protected? You think because you got a name, you're untouchable? Then prison shows you real power is not having people fear you. Real power is being able to go home. Real power is being able to walk out the door. Real power is hugging your family without glass, without guards, without limits. One kiss in, one kiss out, sit 6 feet apart, don't touch, don't hold hands, don't pass anything without bringing it to the police in the front to see if it's okay to pass it. Well, welcome to the visiting hall. The jewel in that is freedom is not respected until somebody else holds the key. Freedom is not respected until somebody else holds the key. Losing routine when your whole day belongs to the system. The streets has a routine, even chaos has a routine. Wake up, check the phone, see who posted, see who called, see what's moving, what's popping, what's shaking, see where the action is. But in prison, your routines become their routine. Count time, stand up, sit down, chow time, lockdown, come out, line up, strip, bend over, spread them, cough, wait again, man, how much I gotta wait? 30 years for that one bad moment. And that waiting does something to a young man because the street trained him to always be reactive. Prison forces him to sit with what he reacted to. That's when, or should I say, where the pain lives. Not just in the cell, in the waiting to attack your mind, waiting on count time when it's quiet and you by yourself, waiting on mail call when you praying, you got a letter from somebody saying that they just thinking about you, waiting on money so you can go to commissary, waiting on visits so you can feel human, to touch somebody from the free world on the other side of the barbed wires and the concrete fences. Waiting on somebody who said they had your back to prove it by showing up on that visit. You know how hard it is to get somebody. How hard is it for one of y'all to go visit your peoples in jail? Y'all put it in the comments if y'all went to see anybody in jail that you know, that you consider a friend. I'm even gonna stretch it out, say within the last 6 months, within the last year. Put it in the comments. All right. The street jewel in that is, the street teaches reaction, but prison teaches you the cost of reacting too fast. Losing identity, right? This way you lose identity. When your name becomes a number, outside people know your face. They know your walk. They know your voice. They know that you're people. They know your reputation. But when you sit, when it hit that, when you hit the system, none of that matters the same. You're not your outfit. You're not your sneakers. You're not your neighborhood. You're not your followers. You're not your comments. You're not your friends hyping you. You're now paperwork. You're now a number. You're a bed assignment. You're a prison number. You are an inmate. You're another young man standing in line trying not to look scared. And that is the part that breaks pride down, because pride needs an audience. Ego needs attention. The street image needs people to keep feeding it. But in prison, the audience disappears. Now it's just you, the bunk, the wall, the toilet, and the plain, honest truth. And the jewel in that is, when the crowd leaves, the real you has to answer for the image that you yourself built. Losing family. The real sentence starts at home. Let me slow this down for a minute, because this part is heavy. When a young man goes to prison, he's not only the one doing time. His mother does time. His father does time. His children do time. His brothers do time. His sisters do time. His whole house changes. The dinner table changes. The holidays change. The birthdays change. The family photos change. The mother starts sleeping different. The phone ringing feels different. The mailbox feels different. Everybody's waiting on a man who cannot come home. So I put them through that grief. And for the first 30 days, because remember, that's what we're talking about. Remember to ride with me. And for the first 30 days, that young man starts realizing his absence is loud. He's not just missing them, they're missing pieces of themselves because of him. That's the part the streets never warn you about. The streets tell you, protect your name. But they don't tell you, your mother might have to carry the weight of that name after you're gone, whether dead or alive. And the jewel in that is simple. A sentence does not stop at the cell. It walks into the family's living room too, because now they have to do the bid with you. Losing friends, right? Never worry about losing friends. The crowd gets smaller every week. First week, everybody says they love you. They're gonna write you, they're gonna send you pictures, they're gonna accept the calls. Everybody says, keep your head up. Everybody says, I got you. Everybody says, call me. Everybody says, you already know. But that tells the truth. By week 2, some people stop answering the phone. By week 3, some people get busy. By week 4, some people act like your pain is bad for their mood. Just hearing your voice irks them and depresses them. Because they out there living life and you calling with the sorrow of you in prison and how you feel so bad, but those were your choices. And after 30 days, you start learning who was really solid and who was just standing close when the cameras was on, when the money was flowing, when the women was hanging on. Prison exposes fake loyalty quicker than whatever, right? Not with arguments, with silence. But that's what you're gonna hear when they disappear. But that silence is gonna turn loud within your head. But you're gonna have to figure it out and understand it and get closure from those friendships and enjoy what you once had is no longer the same because of the choices that you choose to make because you didn't listen to unique Mecca audio. Now, prison exposed fake loyalty, like I said. I gotta repeat this. Not with arguments and not with silence, not with betrayal speeches, not with missed phone calls, not with enemies, with people who slowly disappear while still claiming love. That's when the young man learns the crowd was never really family. Family's the ones answering the phone calls, coming up on a visit. It was all just noise. It was motion, because you had that motion, or should we say you had the wave. It was outside energy, but prison makes all noise fade. And when the noise fades, truth stands up. So the jewel in that is, everybody could stand near you in the street, but only real love stands with you through tough times. Now, here's where the mental part starts, right? That's what y'all like to hear. Y'all like to hear the mental part, right? No, I like the mental part too. So we're gonna ride into the mental part. Right? When the cell starts talking back to you, that's when you know you're in prison. When the cell starts talking back to you, the cell has a voice now, don't think it don't. I know that sounds crazy to people who never been there, but the cell talks, not with words, not with silence, with walls, with smells, with footprints, with keys, with doors, with men yelling down the tier, some just having conversation, some arguing with their best friend about something that they don't even know what the argument's about, but they all kinds of bitch ass niggas. And these are the conversations that you have to deal with, right? With someone crying at night and trying to hide it, and you can hear him sniffling when it gets so quiet that you could hear a mouse pissing on cotton. You could hear his tears. You could damn near feel them, because you know you're trying to hold yours back too. So like I said, with someone crying at night, trying to hide those tears, with someone laughing too loud because they trying not to break. There's so much pressure on them, but they're laughing so loud because they're trying not to break. The first 30 days, a young man starts hearing all that. And then he hears himself. He hears the argument again. He hears the courtroom again. He hears his mother again. He hears his own thoughts asking, how did I get here? His thoughts will ask him, how did I get here? That's why I tell the truth. Do not let one emotional moment write a life sentence over your name. Don't let anger become your driver. Don't let the crowd become your judge, because when it's over, the crowd goes home and you go to your prison cell. The jewel in that, right? The cell is quiet enough for regret to get real loud. The street code lie, right? Let me tell you the street code lie. Right? Everybody talks tough until the game gets real. The street got slogans. Prison got consequences. The streets never fold. Prison says, let me see who writes you after 90 days. The street says, stand tall. Prison says, stand tall at count time. The street says, you're a real one. Prison says, real ones still miss their mothers. The street says, they will remember your name. Prison says, they will replace your name with the next headline. That's the unique Mecca audio twist I want you to get. Make sure you hit the like button. Give me the comments. I forgot to even tell you, we 30 minutes into this. Hit the like button, comments, and all that, because they're trying to keep this type of content down. So I need y'all to hit the comments, hit the like, so we can get it in the algorithm, man. I need some help. Y'all got me? Let's go. Let's keep it moving, all right? Let's get back to where we was at, right? So that's the unique Mecca audio twist. The streets are temporary fame. Prison is permanent reality. The streets give you a nickname. Prison gives you a number. The streets give you attention. Prison gives you time. The streets give you a crowd. Prison gives you a mirror to look at yourself and see who you really are. And that mirror is dangerous. What you're gonna see, you're not gonna like, because it don't lie. It shows you exactly who you were before the door closed, and exactly who you need to become if you ever want your soul back. And on that note, make sure you cop my book of Raw in Harlem. You see, I gotta plug my joint, man. Am I learning for old convict? Did 30 years in prison, and I'm trying to learn how to do this. Go to aroarinharlem.com, aroarinharlem.com, and copy a Raw in Harlem and support the movement. And you already know Cash App on the screen, Unique Mecca Hall. Make sure you hit the icon and say it was created in 2020. All right? You like the content, show some love. You go to a restaurant, you show a tip, show some love. All right? Now, you're getting wisdom worth more than the food that you're going to eat, because you're going to defecate out anyway. But I'm going to tell you one on that, because I feel like riding. I had my grandkids yesterday, right? So we go out and they tell my daddy, granddaddy, I'm hungry. And I'm like, yo, I'm hungry too. And they're like, oh, let's go get some McDonald's. You know what I mean? Oh, let's go get some Burger King. I said, all right, we're going to get that. But all you're going to do is just going to sit here. You're going to let me spend $20 a piece. Now, when I get you the food, you're going to eat it. You're going to defecate it. You know what I mean? And then you're going to be back to square one. How about I just give you each $20 and I take your ass home and your mama cook for you? But let's keep it going, right? The first 30 days, right? I just want to say, I be having fun with the grandkids. Let them know. I mean, you want to waste money on fast food. You eat the fast food, you're going to defecate it right out. So you want the money, you want the crap. I mean, make your mind up. You want the money or the crap? You know, my granddaughter, 14, you know, and she was like, oh, granddaddy, you're the smartest. I said, man, get up out of here and take the $20. You already got the 20. You ain't got to lie to me. Now, the first 30 days, how the system breaks the street out of you, right? It starts with the clothes, then the haircut. But remember, it started with the haircut right after they stripped him at the courtroom of his clothes. Then they started giving him rules, then the count, then the bunk, then the noise, then the silence, then the first missed call, then the first letter that does not come, then the first visit that gets canceled, then the first night you realize this is not temporary. Then the first time you see a grown man break down and you understand this place does not care about your image. That's how the system does it. Not all at once, piece by piece, It removes the street from your body. It removes the pride from your walk. It removes the arrogance from your voice. It removes the fantasy from your mind. And if you're smart, it replaces it with wisdom. Make sure you hit the like button and put a comment in if y'all like the content, because everybody's saying in the comments, like I said, oh yeah, we love it, we share with our friends, all the youth need to see this, you go do speeches, but this ain't doing YouTube, because right now they're trying to with the phone, and we ain't gonna let it happen. All we gotta do is hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the notification, subscribe, and all that, right? But let me get back to where we at, right? Because like I said, it should replace it with wisdom. But wisdom in prison comes expensive. Too expensive. Because the tuition is years you can never get back. The jewel in that is, prison school is real, but the tuition is your life. The tuition is your life. Now I'm gonna give an old message to the youth. I know y'all ready for old black guy to get up off of here, right? But you just can't turn the town because the jewels are so fire. I got you. So I'm gonna give you a little more. The message to the youth: do not learn this lesson from a cell. Learn it from here at Unique Mecca Audio. Young brothers and sisters, listen to me. I'm not talking from theory. I'm not talking from a podcast here trying to sound deep. I'm not talking from pain. I'm straight talking from pain. And I'm talking from time invested in where I'm trying to keep you from. I'm talking from doors closing. I'm talking from seeing men come in young and grow old under lights and never feel like home. Do not let people who will not do one day with you talk you into a decision that can cost you decades. Don't let pride make you a prisoner. Don't let ego make your mother cry. Don't let a moment turn your whole bloodline into visitors. If someone pushes your button, walk away. If someone disrespects you, think bigger. If anger rises, pause. Pause. Just say, hold up, stop. Let me breathe. And then let me think. And then always think of the consequences to whatever you're thinking that you might want to do. See, a psych told me, right? Let's take a ride. I know I'm dragging this out, right? I know y'all ready to go. You know, a psych once told me, right? She told me straight up, she said, it's normal for you to think, you know, you just want to see someone bloodied up in the corner and you standing over them with 2 knives and blood everywhere. She said, it's normal that someone gets you that mad. And I said, yeah? She said, yeah, because that's how we feeling. She said, yeah, but it's not normal when you act on it. Damn, I wish I would have thought first. She said, that's the answer. Think next time. It's normal to have violent thoughts. It's not normal when you act on it. But those are only thoughts that stay in your head. Right now, you might be angry and those violent thoughts, you're thinking violent, but then when you're feeling better, those violent thoughts, you could look back and laugh at it. You even had that crazy ass thought. Who would want to hurt someone? Well, you see how the trauma goes, but I just had to give you a little piece of where I was at and how I learned some of this. Because like I said, I took 3,500 hours of psychological training in the federal BOP. And I got one of the best letters, if not the best letters, from the psychological department. Because I had to figure out why I was so screwed up that I wouldn't even tell on my own brother who was dead to get out of prison. But, you know, neither here nor there if I get old sentimental again. You know, I'm an old mule. Don't pay me no mind. You know what I mean? Now, if anger rises, just pause, right? Because walking away might feel weak for 5 minutes, but staying free is stronger than any street applause. The strongest man is not always the one who reacts first. Sometimes the strongest man is the one who knows this moment is nothing more than bait. and he refuses to bite. That's the smartest man. That's the strongest man. And the jewel in that is walking away from one moment can save the rest of your life. And I know y'all ready for me to close out, right? I know y'all ready to close. I'm ready to. But make sure you hit the like button. I ain't closing yet. So, if y'all want to go, y'all go ahead. But on the way out, hit the like button, hit the comment so we get this message out, because everybody say this message needs to be heard. So that's the only way to get it out. We're going to go bust through it, do it the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean? We're going to make our own algorithm. Now, the closing, right? The first 30 days will tell you the truth. The first day shows you the system. The first week shows you the rules. The first 30 days show you who you are. It shows you yourself. It shows you who you love you, who used you, who forgot you, who prayed for you, who disappeared, who was real and who was noisy. And most of all, it shows you what one decision can cost. This is one about laughing at somebody, right? This is not about laughing at somebody. Definitely, so y'all understand. This is just a tutorial on how to deal with this and to prevent this with the future upcoming youth. Like I said, this is not about laughing at anybody. This is not about disrespecting anybody. This is about teaching the youth before the system teaches them. Because the system does not teach soft. The system teaches with steel, solid steel bars and handcuffs, with time, with patience, with silence, with mothers crying in the parking lot, with sons growing up through pictures, with families learning prison schedules instead of graduation dates. So when I say the first 30 days will break the street out of you, I mean every word of this. It will break the fantasy. It will break the image. It will break the noise. But if you survive it right, it can also build a man who finally understands freedom is sacred, like unique Mecca audio. I used the system to my advantage and didn't allow the system to use me. And now I'm trying to prevent you from going down that road. I'm looking at this old screw up with this big Erykah Badu bucket hat on. You know what I mean? But I just want you to stay focused on the words that are coming out my mouth. And the jewel in that is, the lesson is not how to survive prison. The lesson is how to never get there. And that's what we're trying to teach you over here at Unique Mecca Audio. Now, I'm gonna ask you these questions. Is one moment of anger worth 30 years of silence? Is one moment of anger worth 30 years of silence? My answer is no. Anger feels powerful until the judge starts talking. Then that anger disappears and the sentence says, I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here with you for the next 30 years. Anger leaves fast, right? It's the jewel. Anger leaves fast, but consequences move in permanently. Now, next question. Do young men, we're going to put numbers by them. That was question number one. We're going to put numbers, so when you respond, you put the numbers so the people know what you're talking about. Do young men fear prison, or do they only fear looking weak? My answer is, too many fear looking weak more than they fear losing their freedom. That's backwards. A real man protects his future, not just his image. And the jewel in that is, looking tough for the crowd can make you weak to the system. 3, who suffers more? The man in the cell or the mother waiting on the call? My answer to that one is simple. Both suffer different. He loses freedom, she loses peace. And peace is hard to get back. When the son goes to prison, a mother starts serving time in her heart. Because my mother served my 26 and a half years with me in her heart. And I'm sorry I had to put you through that, mommy. Publicly saying that. Now, I don't want you to have to go that route with yours, so just listen to me and don't go down that dumbass route I went down. Is street loyalty real, or does prison expose most of it? My answer is prison exposed everything. Real loyalty writes. Real loyalty visits. Real loyalty answers the phone when you call in. Fake loyalty posts emojis and disappear when you need them. Time does not create loyalty. Time reveals it. Is walking away cowardly, or is walking away wisdom? My answer is walking away can be the highest form of power. Anyone can regret. Everybody cannot control themselves. And that's why the jewel in that is control is stronger than the reaction. Question 6. Well, I got 6 questions for you so far. Why do people respect street stories more than prison warnings? My answer is because street stories sound exciting. Prison warnings sound painful. But pain tells the truth better than excitement. And let's get right to the jewel. The story that sounds boring might be the story that saves your life. Question 7, right? I only got 3 more. I know you're ready for old black man to get off here, but just relax. Let me enjoy myself. Just let me ride out with y'all. Let me just ride out and feel the vibe real quick, right? Does the internet make young men feel braver than they really are? Now, y'all gotta answer that in the comments. You know? My answer to that is yes. Comments can gas you up. Likes can lie to you. Views can make you forget the courtroom is not online. Until you get on pace and you got a new case number, you find your appeal. All right? The jewel in that is the internet can hype you, but it will not serve your sentence. Matter of fact, give me a hype on this video. Could I get a hype on this video if y'all like this video? You know, I done gave y'all 45 minutes. I'm giving y'all a whole hour show, but I'm riding. I ain't rushing nothing. We just chilling. You know, all right? It's Happy Sunday. This is my gift to you. Because I'm supposed to be with my grandkids again. I miss it. I told them I'm coming, though. I ain't know I was going to be this long, but, you know, what good is it if they ain't mad at granddaddy? Right? The 8th question. When the street says stand on business, who stands with you in prison? When the streets say stand on business, who's going to stand with you in prison? Put in a comment if you feel you have someone that's going to stand with you if you go to prison right now. God forbid. My answer is most times not the crowd. The crowd moves on. Your family carries the pain. You carry the number. The jewel in that is never take advice from people who will not share the consequences. Question 9. Can prison make a man wiser or only colder? The answer is it depends on the man. Some men get bitter. Some men get better. But nobody should need a cell to become wiser. The jewel in that one, growth is powerful, but do not wait until prison to become a man. Because I know a lot of brothers that grew up in prison and became a man, me one included. Question 10, so that's why I'm trying to prevent you over here, you Mecca audio, from going down that crazy ass route. What is the real lesson in Karmelo Anthony's first 30 days to you? Put it in the comment. My answer is, the lesson is not just about him. It's about every young man one decision away from losing everything. The headline is the door. The lesson is the room behind it. Now, the jewel in that is the story is not the celebrity. The story is the consequence. Just so you understand, I just gave y'all, what's this about? Yeah, I gave y'all 15 minutes of my time on a Sunday, and I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for coming, but all I'm asking is on the way out, please hit the like button, put a comment emoji, tell me how I'm doing, give me a flower, give me a something, give me advice, give me a link on what you want me to speak on, but let's keep it moving, and I want to show you why I do what I do. This is the brother Murder Moot, my brother Murder Moot, our brother Murder Moot, all right?
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Moot, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique, you know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, shit be slow and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and I, like, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe, and it just took my mind way off of that, way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. Rush. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Real. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back